Hi, Kat. This is Jackie, the librarian and library director at Blue Mountain Community College. I'm not going to be here Friday to meet you or your class, so I just wanted to kind of introduce myself via video and point out a couple of resources for you and your students. The number one I hope you'll take advantage of is me. I hope you will, feel free to invite me to your classes. I travel. I go from anywhere. I've been out to Hefner, Ione, Helix, Pendleton would be easy. And I often meet with students in their classroom or the high school computer lab, so we can do some active research during that time. Or again, you can come up again here if your students would like to come up and I'll book as a computer lab. In the email I'm sending you, there's a couple links that I want your students to know about, but also just to again show you where you'll start is from the college library homepage. So click here on library. And the first couple things I've showed you is that link. If students don't have to be on campus to get a library card, we try to make it easy for them as possible because we know they're not always here. And libraries are really 24/7 places these days. We want students, if they're doing their homework in the morning, and that's very realistic, they have the opportunity to do so. But they do need to get a library card. They need a library card because if they're going to get into any of our advanced databases, when they're off campus, they'll be prompted for a library card number. That's their ticket in. We pay for these college resources, and the library barcode ID is that access point. So we just need their name. They're not going to have a student ID because, of course, they're an ECC student probably not registered yet. So we just like to know the name of the high school and their role and the following. These are actually completed by a human being, so it does take 1 business day to get a response. So just be aware of that. It's not the instant, poof, here's your card. It does take a bit. Going back to our library homepage, I'm just going to click there again, where we spend most of our time, even though we do put the catalog here, that's not very useful, I think. We do spend most of our time in the library databases. But let me show you, actually. The second link I provided in the email was to this communication loop guide, right up here. Alphabetical. This I need to work on actually and develop a little bit more, but I usually have things, how do you think through your topic? Students really struggle with keywords and doing good searching in our databases, so just some exercises, how to do a cool word map. This is pretty fun actually, it's interactive. I have video tutorials for all of our databases, opposing viewpoints and CQ Researcher being one, EBSCO, Academic OneFile. These are the 2 or 3 that I would spend time working on with your students primarily. If they can't find what they need in here, then we usually go to EBSCO, but generally students spend most of their time in here. They're different databases, they have slightly different content. EBSCO does tend to be a little bit more, I guess advanced is the right word. I'd say the interface is trickier to use. It's essential. It's a vital database, and I find a lot of students, once they get to know it, they go right to that. I'd say beginning, but it's usually when they get to that writing 122, 227 level. Sometimes I see it in COM 111, but I kind of sometimes use that as a scaffold up database. Just to point out, we know we have a ton of media, streaming media. So we have, if you want your students to watch documentaries, if they want to use that as a tool, we have both Films on Demand and Alexander Street Press. They're amazing. There's a lot, of course, also free video services out there as well, streaming media. And of course, helping students with their evaluating. And I have writing the essay here. What I need to do is change that into speech type. So that's usually pretty helpful for students. Going back to the library, you can of course go straight to that guide, and that should have just about everything you need. This is going slow. So if you wanted to spend all your time in there, you certainly could. If you wanted to go right to our library databases to show our students, actually I should point out a couple things here. One is from this page, how to get a hold of me. Students can contact me. Students email me all the time. I usually send them an email back like this video chat. So I'll say, oh, okay, you're doing research on, I don't know, video games as a sport. So I'll send them a video walking them through resources. A lot of students last year from Helix use this a lot, and this is how I spoke to them and answered their questions. But I do also want to point out, I mentioned 24/7 libraries. The state of Oregon has a 24/7 research consult service. So if it is through the morning and the student can't wait, they might be able to get an answer 24/7. And you just go there to Answerland. Where I would spend most of my time with your students is really in our top library databases. Sometimes I talk to them and say, okay, are you doing anything that's current events? Okay, we might want to look at our newspapers. Are you doing anything in these fields? To scope it down a little bit. But again, our topical databases, CQ is kind of a pain. It's only available on campus. But we'd always start with opposing viewpoints, academic one file, and then I'd probably get into EBSCO. So if that makes sense. And I do actually talk to them about Go Scholar quite a bit and ebooks. So anyway, that's just kind of an introduction, really briefly, to me, some of our resources. Again, I'm happy to come out at any time, and we can do something really interactive with your students to prep them for their presentations, especially for that final persuasive speech. I know they have to have that credible evidence in order to make their, claims and back it up. And so and they have to have a visual aid. These databases also contain great visual aids for that presentation. So anyway, just let me know. I'm here. My email is just jray@bluecc. You have it. So take care.